Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. I know it's been a while. A lot going on here. Haven't really had much time to listen to or review any of the new stuff, or recent stuff, I should say, because most of what we're still talking about is 2024 releases. But I'm going to try and get back on track going forward and get caught up on all that stuff. So we got one for you here today. This is I'm not sure exactly how many releases as a leader this guy has. I believe it's over 20, but it's the brand new one, or fairly new one, I should say, from Mike Stern, called Echoes and Other Songs. Of course, Mike Stern, one of the great jazz and fusion guitar players, songwriters of the last 40 years, right? I mean, he's been around a little longer than that, but yeah, roughly about 40 some odd years. Of course, got his start playing with bands like Blood, Sweat, and Tears and a few other jazz and fusion bands and ensembles during the latter part of the 70s, but it really was when he hooked up with Miles Davis on Miles's comeback circuit in the early 80s that people really started to take notice of the guitar skills of a young Mike Stern. And then in the middle of the 80s, he left Miles's band and went off on his own, started doing solo records and collaborations, and that's what he's been doing to this day. He's played with everybody. I mean, you look up the discography of Mike Stern. He has played on so many albums and done so many sessions, and it's the list is long, people. But he's got a lot of really good solo albums. But he's got so many of them. I'm kind of this with Mike Stern. I followed him very, very closely early on in his solo career, up until probably like the mid 90s or so. And then I kind of dropped out a little bit, then played catch up. So I haven't heard like every single one of his solo albums over the last like 25 years or so. But I do, like, every couple of releases, I'll pick one up. Probably should go out and check more of the ones that I missed. But this is the first one I've heard in a couple albums. And let's take a look at it here. So Echoes and Other Songs. Take out the little Japanese thing there. And there we got the little digipack. It tells you who plays on this, which I'll talk about right now. So we've got Mike himself on guitar, along with a little bit of backing vocals on one track. There are a little bit of vocals on like two songs on here. Chris Potter, tenor saxophone. You got Jim Beard, acoustic piano and keyboards. Got Christian McBride, electric bass and acoustic bass. Antonio Sanchez, drums. Lenny Stern, Mike's wife, plays Nagoni on a couple tracks. I'm not really sure what that is. Arturo Tungboyasian, percussion. Richard Bona, bass guitar and some vocals. Dennis Chambers, drums on a couple tracks. And Bob Franceschini on soprano saxophone, sax and tenor sax. So it's a long album. There's 11 tracks on here. It's like 78 minutes long. It's a lot of music on here. Most of it, though, is what you'd expect from Mike Stern. It's that kind of like smoldering, mid-paced fusion stuff with loads and loads of his guitar, the kind of like the melodic jazz. He's a really great songwriter. He has a great way with putting together melodic arrangements. It's always been his thing. As much as he is a burner on guitar, he could play, he could do jazz standards. I mean, he's well-versed. He could play straight-up rock if he wanted to, but he's got the sound. As soon as you hear one note, it's Mike Stern. Right, very identifiable sound. Starts off really hot. There's a song Connections, 8 minutes long, which kicks off the album. Terrific. A molten guitar solo on that. Really good. Echoes is the next track. Also long, 7.5 minutes long. That's also quite good. A lot of really fiery playing on here. The sax is great. I think him hooking up with Chris Potter makes a lot of sense. They work really, really well together. And then you got Bob Franceschini, who does also some sax on here, but it's mostly Chris Potter plays on a good chunk of the album. You got Stuff Happens, another long one, about 7 minutes long. Spacebar, another long one, about 7 minutes long. All these songs have lots of fiery interplay between the band, good rhythms. When you got guys like Dennis Chambers on here and, Christian McBride and Richard Bona, these are top-notch jazz and fusion players, like top-notch. What else we got in here? So track number 5 is one of the tracks where it's called I Hope So. There's like vocals on there. It's very mellow, but it's kind of like, you've got Richard Bona, who has worked with lots of people before, and he's that kind of like, he does those kind of vocals. It's okay. As this album is so long, that's like the song that really least interests me, and I would pull it off personally. But I get it. Looking for some commercial stuff on here, whatever. You got Where's Leo, another pretty cool track. Gospel song. That's a little mellow, but still pretty good. Crumbles is another smoker. Really, really good. You got a song called Curtis that's got another track with vocals on it. Mike does backing vocals on it. Richard Bona does lead vocals on it. Again, it's okay. Climate's really hot and could be, and both of the last 2 tracks, Climate and Could Be, both over 7 minutes long. A lot of great soloing from Mike. Drumming and bass, really, really good. Great piano, great sax. Just, it's a really good album, I think. For me, you could take out the 2 like vocal-oriented pieces, and this is like a near perfect album. As is, I'm going to get a 4 out of 5 star. I really like it a lot. It's long, but if you take out the 2 vocal pieces, that's 12 minutes right there. And then it comes down to it's like a 65-minute album, which is still on the long side, but really like it a lot. 4 out of 5 star. I mean, this guy's just so great. I've been a fan for a long time. Love his playing. Love his compositional skills, and he always has top-notch players with him. So yeah, Mike Stern, Echoes and Other Songs, 4 out of 5 stars. If you're a jazz and fusion fan or just like good guitar music in the jazz vein, I think you'll really like this a lot. So go check it out, and it's on, what are we on here? Mac Avenue Records. Okay. Hey, whatever. I bought this from CD Japan, so it may be on another label here. But I'm not really sure. This is what I got. Anyway, let us know what you think of this if you checked it out. If not, go listen and see what you think. And we'll see you next time. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options all down below. Thanks in advance for all your support there, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.